I used to believe the worst part of an affair was getting caught. The moment of exposure, the shame, the way people start looking at you differently once the truth is out. I was wrong. The true devastation didn't hit until 3 months later, when the world was quiet and the dust seemed to have settled. That's when my husband confronted me in a way I never could have imagined. My name is Claire Reynolds and I'm 31 years old. I had been married to my husband, Ethan, for 6 years when my affair with my boss came to light. Even saying it now makes my chest tighten. At the time, I didn't see myself as a bad person. I told myself the same lies we all do. Just happened. I felt invisible. I deserved to be noticed. It didn't mean anything. And the most dangerous lie of all, I convinced myself that Ethan would never truly leave me. The affair began quietly, subtly. Late nights at the office, compliments that seemed harmless at first, small touches that felt thrilling but innocent. My boss, Ryan, was confident, charming, the exact opposite of Ethan in all the ways I told myself mattered. Ethan was dependable, predictable. Ryan made me feel chosen, important, alive in ways I hadn't realized I craved. I ignored the quiet voice in my head warning me that attention isn't the same as respect. When Ethan found out, it wasn't dramatic. No shouting, no broken dishes. He came home early one afternoon, stood in the doorway of our bedroom, and held up my phone. That moment hit me like a punch to the gut. My stomach dropped so sharply I thought I might throw up. I cried, I begged. I apologized until the words had no meaning left. He listened. He always listened. That should have terrified me more than any display of anger ever could. For weeks we existed in a strange in-between. He didn't leave, but he didn't forgive me either. He slept in the guest room, spoke to me politely, like I was a coworker he couldn't trust. I convinced myself that meant there was hope. If he were truly done, he would have walked away. That's what I told myself every night, lying alone in our bed. Ryan was fired. HR investigations, formal consequences. My life imploded publicly while my marriage quietly crumbled behind closed doors. Friends stopped calling. My parents were disappointed but supportive in that tight-lipped, hurtful way that somehow cuts deeper than anger. Ethan never told anyone what had happened. That silence, I realized too late, was mercy. I mistook it for weakness. 3 months passed. The house felt calmer. Ethan started joining me at the dinner table again. Sometimes we even spoke about neutral things, bills, groceries, the weather. I took that as progress. I thought time would smooth over the jagged edges of my betrayal. I was wrong. One evening after dinner, Ethan asked me to sit with him. His voice was calm, almost gentle, but my heart started racing. There was something deliberate in the way he spoke, like he had been rehearsing this moment. "I need you to listen," he said. "And I need you not to interrupt." I nodded, already defensive, already rehearsing my apologies. He pulled a thick folder from his bag and set it between us. Tabs protruded from its edges, making it look more like a work presentation than anything connected to our marriage. "What's this?" I asked. "Everything," he replied. Inside were printed emails, screenshots, hotel receipts, phone records, proofs I hadn't even realized still existed. Not just from my phone but also detailed logs of dates, times, and places. My throat went dry. "I didn't do this to punish you," Ethan said, studying my face. "I did it so I could understand exactly who I was married to." I felt exposed all over again, but this wasn't anger or shock. This was measured, calculated examination. "I went to therapy," he continued. "I spoke to a lawyer. I spoke to myself a lot." The word lawyer tightened my chest. "If this is about divorce," I began. He raised a hand just slightly, not aggressively enough to stop me. "Don't interrupt," he said. I had stayed silent for 3 months. I could manage 3 more minutes. "I watched you. I listened to what you said and noticed what you didn't. I wanted to see if your regret was about losing me, or about losing the life you were comfortable in." Tears burned my eyes. "I regret hurting you," I whispered. He nodded. "I believe that. But regret isn't the same as respect." The word respect hit harder than any insult ever could. He slid one document toward me, a postnuptial agreement. "If you want to stay married," he said evenly, "this is how it happens." My hands trembled as I skimmed the pages. Clauses, conditions, consequences. If there was another affair, emotional or physical, I would walk away with nothing. No house, no savings, no spousal support. The terms were harsh, deliberately so. You're controlling me, I said before I could stop myself. No, he replied. I'm protecting myself. I should have done this years ago. I looked up at him and for the first time since the affair, felt something like fear, not of losing him, but at how clear and calm his eyes were. How final. There's more, he said, placing another envelope next to the first. This? I asked. A letter, he replied. To who? To you. From me. The man you married. The man you almost destroyed. He didn't ask me to read it aloud. He stood, picked up his bag and walked toward the bedroom. Take your time, he said. You have 1 week to decide if you want to stay married under these terms. If not, I'll file. After tonight, nothing will ever go back to the way it was. And just like that, he left me at the table, staring at the proof of my choices, realizing that the confrontation I feared wasn't loud or dramatic. It was precise, controlled, and far more devastating than anything I could have imagined.